Records of the Unknown, Operation Latency, contains horror elements that may be disturbing to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
You are listening to an Atomic Broadcasting production, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the feature presentation. And remember, do your part, such as like, comment, rate, and don't forget to tell a friend to tune in for an Atomic Time.
November 18th, 3:25 p.m. Corporal Adams, as you're looking around, you see Birdie looking up at the sky, and as you go to follow her vision upward, you find you can't move. In fact, you can't even move your eyes to follow her up, and as you're sitting there, you're hearing movement in the brushes around you, and Birdie lowers her head, turns to the east, and just starts walking away. And then you can move again.
I look around.
You're looking around. The moose's body is still there, though more covered in snow than the last time you looked at it. The snow is getting significantly higher as it continues on. At this point, it looks like the Aurora Borealis is gone. It's almost completely dark save for your flashlight.
If I recall correctly, you mentioned I felt something on my back. Is that true?
Will you roll a power check?
Yes. 56 over 50.
Yes, you feel that. You still feel like a pressure on your back there, as if like a phantom feeling there on your back.
If I put my hand there, do I feel anything, or just...
No, you reach back and it's just your back. Everything kind of normal, though you have all these layers. It's not necessarily easiest to tell. At this point, it's probably down to close to like 0 degrees outside. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit, so the snow is starting to breeze off.
I think if I don't see anything else in this clearing, I'm going to go ahead and try and follow Birdie.
You begin heading your way down the path Birdie had gone. At this point, you don't really see displaced snow. The snow's moved about so much. You find kind of another clearing. It almost feels a little warmer for a second. You see, as you're looking around, this through the snow, reflecting off the snow too, as you're coming into this clearing, it's much easier to see because these funguses, their stalks are still kind of sticking up high enough that the light is reflecting all across the area in this clearing here. But you don't see Birdie just up ahead here.
Okay. Well, knowing that the fungus is radioactive, I'm going to keep pressing on.
The further you go, the more inconsistent the ground is. It's getting more tough to travel. You're still not seeing any signs of Birdie anywhere near here.
Do I get the sense at all of how far I've traveled so far?
Maybe like a quarter mile off the road at this point.
Right. Well, am I heading in the direction of the lab?
Yes, not as more directly, but almost slower because of the way the terrain is and how deep the snow is, compared to like the road you were on before, which is still, you would expect much clearer than this.
Well, I'm going to assume since she was going in this general direction anyway that she's still headed there, so I'm going to kind of pivot to the road and then continue on to the lab.
So it takes you another like 5 or so minutes to pivot over to the road. And then you begin to hear the sound of a vehicle coming up the road back from the direction of the town.
From the town coming towards me?
Mm-hmm.
I'll stick out my thumb.
Dr. Steele, as you're driving down the road, you and the sheriff and Peter Kent are all keeping your eyes out as the snow is still coming down quite strongly at this point. There's really not much light even being reflected aside from your guys' headlights at the moment. As you're turning around a bend in the road, you see, sticking out from the forest, a figure coming out, sticking his thumb up.
Who's that? Who am I? I just see a figure.
It's very bundled up right now. It's about 0 degrees or so outside.
John, who lives out this way?
Fair amount of people live out this way. The Haverfield Farm's not far from here. Why? What's going on?
Let's stop for this Philip here. You may have seen something.
Let's just stop.
Roll down the window. Agent Adams. Where's Agent Belamy?
Oh, hey, Doc. We got separated. I honestly don't know what happened. Sheriff?
Hi.
And Peter's also here with us, Doctor.
Hello. Yeah, he's in the back of the car.
Dr. Kent? Where are you guys headed? Where are you guys headed?
There's been some developments. We're looking for Lucas, the deputy.
I haven't seen him. I'm operating under the assumption that Agent Belamy went to the lab. That's where I was just about to head. I'd appreciate a ride. It's a little cold.
I think we can make some room here.
So Peter right now is in the back of the vehicle because there's only enough room in this vehicle for 2 people inside.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not going to be much better.
But it's like a truck, so it's got space in the back.
Do you mind?
Oh, yes, come, please.
I'll hop in the back.
We can conserve our heat.
I give Dr. Steele a knowing look, like, we need to talk, and then I hop in the back of the truck.
I'm nodding back at you. One moment before we continue. Do we see any tracks here that are... I mean, it's been snowing, right? They've been perhaps covered up. Tracks that Lucas might have made? I'm not great at
I don't think I saw any tracks, did I?
No, at this point with the snow and the wind, you wouldn't really see much, especially with all your survival skills being so low.
Pollux.
All you really see is the very clear area that Corporal Adams just came from.
Well, we'll have to continue down this path. Hopefully we'll find him as well. I don't want to lose another one.
Did he just go missing? What happened?
He went AWOL.
Wasn't he supposed to be watching?
He was supposed to be watching Miss Bunsen.
She's dead.
She has not made it.
She's washed up on the shore.
Well, how did she...
That is something we'd like to discuss given more time, but please go on.
We need to find a deputy.
We need to find the deputy to learn.
And we also need to find Agent Belamy.
As soon as you hop in, he just starts taking off.
Yes, we found Miss Bunsen. She's already passed. It happened sometime during the service. We went to investigate when we went to investigate the cells. The keys were left in the lock and opened up, and Lucas was nowhere found.
No trace of him at all?
No trace. So we asked around, and someone mentioned they saw him heading out this way. So we're trying to just hopefully find him before anyone else suffers.
Sheriff, is there anything out this way aside from Miss Bunsen's lab?
Yeah, there's a lot there's homes out this way. Like I said, he kind of points out to the side. The Haverfield Farm is right over there. There's a few others out here, kind of spread about, this is one of the main paths that split off into lots of other paths. But in this weather, I wouldn't suspect anyone to really be traveling unless they're heading home from the funeral, which I imagine most people aren't heading home and holding up in the Haley bar.
And your deputy doesn't live out here himself, does he?
No, he lives in town with me.
Do you know if he happens to have any close relations with anyone out this way?
As far as I know, no. Lucas usually kind of keeps to himself or talks with me. He's friendly with everyone, but I haven't really seen him hang out with anyone since high school.
Look, I don't know for sure, but it seems like the simplest explanation is that our two missing people, Agent Belamy and the deputy, might be at the same place. I don't know why, but I have a hunch.
I guess we'll just see when we get there. And from there, we will fade to black. We fade back in, fire lighting us as Agent Belamy stands face to the fire, and to her back, Lucas bars the deputy with a gun, saying, "I knew you guys were suspicious." Dropped her off just so you could what? Run out here and burn this place down? I thought you guys were going to the funeral.
No, I did not set the house on fire. I don't know how it happened. I don't know when it happened. I did not do that.
I don't know anyone else who has any reason to be here. I don't even know why you're here.
I was investigating some things.
Yeah, I thought you guys said you were doing that with Bunsen.
We are.
You fought hard to get her out and then just put her right back in so you could go to the funeral.
No,
and
she didn't.
I only saw the doctor at the funeral.
She did not want to go to the funeral, and we decided to split up and cover more ground. So.
And now what? You've broken in. You've burned the place
No.
down. You were in the greenhouse.
Yes, I was in the greenhouse, I think, when the fire started. I did not do this.
Yeah, that's what everyone's gonna say here.
You can check. You can check my bag for things like for fire starter if you want. There's nothing in there.
Toss it over here.
Take off my satchel and toss it.
He grabs it and kind of opens it up and sees the samples and other things you've taken out of the greenhouse.
Yep.
Like, all right, you're under arrest for potential arson and at least stealing and breaking and entering.
I was gonna give him back.
I'm sure you were, all right? Hands behind your back.
Fine.
He begins to put the handcuffs on you.
I'm not gonna resist.
He's not gonna. Okay. Will you roll a luck check for me?
Yeah. 28.
Agent Belamy, as the handcuffs are clicking onto you, a vehicle begins to approach. Two of you see the botanist's house on your left, blazing on fire, and a greenhouse to the right side of the yard. In the middle of this is a figure being what seems like handcuffed by another figure with a gun in his hand.
I see the gun, and I'm going to make sure I have my gun out. And I'm not even going to wait for the truck to stop. I'm going to just leap out.
As you leap out and run forward with your gun, the sheriff hits the brakes and is like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Dr. Steele will get out once it's stopped. What is happening here?
As I'm running towards the scene, I'm going to say, "Federal agent, put your hands up."
It's all right. It's all right. I'm apprehending the criminal. Says
And,
Lucas. That's Lucas Bars,
It's Lucas, the deputy,
Mhm.
handcuffing
who you can now
Birdie.
see to be Birdie.
What in the hell is going on here?
I wish I knew.
Yeah, I found her, having broken into the greenhouse and set this place on fire.
I did not set the house on fire.
Allegedly set the house on fire.
The house is on fire.
He lifts up a satchel. She was stealing stuff out of the greenhouse.
I was collecting evidence.
Deputy, we are here on a federal investigation.
I don't care about your federal investigation. This is a local crime. We have jurisdiction with this crap.
Deputy Bars, do you know what state you left Miss Bunsen in?
Yeah, she was locked up. Fine.
And you made sure she was still locked in the cell?
Yeah. I've got my keys right here, and he lifts up his keys. She's locked up just fine like she is every single day when I leave her there alone.
Curious enough, do you know who owns any extra set of keys?
No one. Only the sheriff and me.
I look to the sheriff.
He lifts up his keys.
Did you guys leave the keys in the cell? The ones that were unlocking the door?
I look to the sheriff like, those keys were left in the lock, Sheriff. Did you take them out?
He feels around. I don't think so.
Well, it's maybe someone has extra set of keys, because Miss Bunsen is dead. Deputy Bars.
What?
Oh, man.
She's dead?
What happened?
And you were the last person to see her alive.
I haven't been there. When did she die? I've been gone for like an hour coming out here following you guys.
Why were
Really?
you following? Why?
Seems pretty suspicious.
Oh, I seem pretty suspicious?
Yes.
What about you guys? You come out of nowhere, people are dying. You try your hardest to take Miss Bunsen from us, then immediately give her back, say you're going to the funeral, and then two of you run out of town, presumably to come here and break into this place and maybe even set it on fire. I seem suspicious.
You do seem suspicious.
I should put all three of you under arrest.
Agent Belamy, was this place on fire when you arrived?
No,
How long has this fire been burning?
I don't know.
I maybe 5 minutes now?
Wait, why do you know the exact time that it's been burning?
Well, I was walking in from the forest. I just said maybe about 5 minutes now.
You walked in from the forest, not from the road, Deputy?
Well, I mean, yeah and no. I came down the road and I saw her getting ready to go in the building, so I snuck off into the woods. So she didn't see me standing out in the open.
Listen, Deputy, your evidence is circumstantial at best. As far as the arson that just obviously has occurred, unless it was faulty gas line or something, you have no proof.
I don't imagine any accidental fires happening here. We don't have that kind of stuff. And Bunsen hasn't been in here for days. Nothing's gonna be on.
Did she forget to turn her stove off?
No.
No?
I was in there, but I didn't mess with anything.
And now she confesses to breaking and entering the house.
I mean, yes,
That's a crime.
I'll admit that I was in there, but I did not set the place ablaze.
Well, we'll have to look into that later. For now, you gotta come back with us.
Deputy Bars, you are interfering with a federal investigation. Now, I understand.
Screw your investigation.
I
We're not Americans.
Sheriff?
I
You are
understand.
living in a United States territory, son.
I understand things are certainly a bit strange. We thought the time opportune to try and perhaps investigate the matters of Miss Bunsen and your suspicions that she might have been the murderer of two previous citizens of the town.
Not my suspicion, sheriff's suspicion.
We thought it opportune to perhaps try and investigate before, maybe if we did bring her with us, if she might try and hide anything from the murder case.
Not the best way to go about doing that.
Certainly not. But now we have a house on fire and Miss Bunsen is dead. So there goes Sheriff's number one suspect.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry for the circumstances, but can you please release Agent Belamy? We are trying to learn the truth of the matters going on here.
What's your persuasion?
40.
You want to roll persuasion?
10.
Nice.
The sheriff steps up and says, "Let her go. We'll take her back and we'll question her and we'll get things sorted out. But right now we need to get out of here." The sheriff looks to the corporal. "Help me make a sweep real quick, see if anyone else is here."
I nod. I will help the sheriff.
I'll approach Agent Belamy and Deputy Bars. Now, what was this evidence that she indicated? Here, you got a bag.
He holds up her satchel and he opens it up. There's like vials and like plant matter and such all in them.
Yeah, it's curious.
And Lucas undoes the handcuffs.
Deputy Bars, what do you make of the previous two victims? If you said you don't think.
You asking me that right now?
Yes, I am, because now Miss Bunsen is dead, and last we knew she was in your care.
Yeah, well, what's there to make about these deaths? The doctor died in her house. Who knows what happened to him? I mean, it clearly wasn't anything natural. with that burst in his body. I mean, that's not normal. It's not going to happen. And then Bobby, having a Bobby, I don't know, man. We can't even get in the mind to investigate what might have happened in there.
Given all these circumstances now, Miss Bunsen, last we checked, left in the cell, has died. Similar burst on her. Although we didn't find her in the cell. After the funeral service, we found her in the water.
Water?
Yes, on the shore. We made sure to come all this way out here to hopefully find you, because we weren't sure what would have happened to you after that scene. And we figured you were the last person to know what would have happened to her.
Probably would have been if I was still there. Listen, the sheriff says to always keep a watch on her. Most of the time I leave her alone there. I don't watch her the whole time, even though John asks me to, but I don't do that. She's been fine every other time. There's no reason for her to have done this. She just wanted to get out. She knew you guys were coming back. She wouldn't have just ran off like that.
We certainly intended to come back, but like I said, shortly after the service, we just found her that way. Fear forgot above that maybe you had suffered a terrible fate yourself. We followed all the way out here to find you.
Maybe if I stayed, I would have. I don't know. If whoever wanted to kill her that badly broke into our jail, they could have done something nasty to me if I wasn't ready.
And what incentive brought you out here? Was there a call from one of the residents out this way? I didn't think phone lines were up yet.
No, there was nothing. I saw you guys. Like I said, you fought real hard to get her, talked to her for a bit, put her back, said you were going to the funeral. You went to the funeral, those two went running off towards her place. I was worried this exact sort of thing was going to happen.
Who's to say you didn't set the house on fire?
I mean, right now, I guess who's to say? I don't know.
It's kind of suspicious you come running in here pointing fingers when you don't even know the truth yourself.
I'm just doing my best to help save lives. And I messed up. I should have stayed with the Bunsen. I had no reason to think something like this would happen to her. I'm gonna go get some air.
You're in the forest.
Yeah, I'm getting away from you too. And he holsters his gun and goes walking off. The sheriff and the corporal are doing their little sweep. There is a small patch where the snow is significantly lower, and there's still some wet snow. And when you kind of go off your beeline you were taking to it, it's a little bit warmer.
Do I notice anything else? Or is that just a kind of a melty,
If you were to look at it, it looks almost spherical.
like maybe something hot was set here?
Like
or
this, and I should specify, this is about a 10 to 15 foot radius.
Oh, so it's big. And it's just warm spot? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes. And like the snow's divoted quite a bit in like a spherical shape, where it's kind of melted almost.
Oh. I'm not exactly sure what to make of this.
As you're looking down at it, you're looking off real quick. With your alertness and search being both, what, like 70 and 80?
70 and 80, yeah.
You see like a glint in the distance, like a mirrored things reflecting light your way.
If we're coming from what direction?
The northeast.
Okay. So not the way we came,
No.
farther.
With your background too, it would remind you almost of a sniper scope. The way it would reflect at times.
Well, I think then just out of instinct, I'm going to hit the dirt.
You dive into
Yeah.
the warm snow. And it's still warm. Even the snow's kind of warm.
Ooh.
And the sheriff's coming around. He's like, he's going, and then he kind of looks off to the side, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
Get down.
He
Get
kind
down.
of goes next to a tree and kind of crouches down. He's like, "What's going on? You find someone?"
Maybe. I kind of point to where I saw the glint. Do you see that?
The glint's not really happening at this point. He's like, trees, snow, what's going on?
I have some experience with snipers, and I think I saw somebody. It might not have been a sniper scope. It might have been a telescope or binoculars or something. But I think somebody was watching us down that way.
I mean, the fire's pretty big. It could be a neighbor.
I think it's worth checking out.
I really don't want to leave. leave everyone here.
I'll go.
No, you shouldn't go by yourself either. I'll go with you.
Let's go.
As the two of you are looking that way and thinking about going, you'd estimate it's probably about half a mile northeast at this moment.
I don't want to lose whatever this is, but thinking back more realistically about what happened in the forest, Corporal Adams wants to talk to his fellow agents. So instead, I'm going to say it's probably worth checking out, but you're right, we don't want to leave them, and I don't want both of us to be gone. So after we get things settled, maybe we can make another trip.
I mean, there's no home there. This guy's probably...
Could be a hunter or something.
Maybe. Alright, well, we'll head back then.
I didn't see anything else except for this. That's kind of weird. Ever seen anything like that before, Sheriff?
No, I haven't.
Do I believe him?
Do you want to make a human intelligence roll?
I mean, there's no harm in trying, right? 18.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
So close.
You say that and you kind of watch him for a second. You can't really get any reading on him, on his reaction there. It seems unknown to you.
We'll just head back then.
As you begin to head back, let's cut back to the other agents. Did you guys have anything else you were discussing?
Is Peter just left in the truck?
He's kind of near the fire trying to warm up. He's been in the back of the truck the whole time, out in the cold.
Agent Belamy, did you find anything?
Not a lot. I just got some plant samples.
That'll probably be of value as well.
There's a lot I didn't understand and probably be better suited for you, so I was trying to take some notes and stuff that she wrote down that maybe you could interpret better, because I don't know what to make of it.
I'm just much appreciated. At least you would saved it from the fire, I imagine.
It was actually in this greenhouse. All of her notes and stuff that at least I could figure out were in the greenhouse. There was a cellar I couldn't get into.
Yes. Sorry for the party arrival. Shortly after the funeral service, we found Miss Bunsen dead. Hand eviscerated, similar to the other two.
Her hand?
Her hand, yes. We found her on the shoreline, which was particularly curious, so following that back, we were wanting to perform an autopsy, but the sheriff burst in, claiming Lucas was missing, and I felt time was of the essence because I wasn't sure what he might have found.
Yeah, apparently he was following me. Or us, or... I don't know. Where the heck did Agent Adams even...
As you say that, and you kind of look around, because you knew they kind of fanned out, you hear the sound of some glass breaking, as the greenhouse seems to also be aflame.
What?
As it's beginning to spread. Would Miss Belamy roll alertness?
I guess.
Biscuit stick.
75.
Doctor, would you roll alertness?
38 under 40. Barely.
Yeah.
As Agent Belamy is staring into this new fire, Doctor, you see a silhouette of a figure moving into the forest on like the other side of the greenhouse. It's instantly, obviously not anyone you've seen here, as they seem like a few feet shorter than each of you. And at that point, all of you hear a not too distant sound of a gunshot.
Dang it.
What?
Try to just make sure I make note of where that figure was, where they were standing. Hopefully don't find tracks, but like you said, gunshot.
Based on my background, do I get the sense of which direction that gunshot came from?
As you guys are hearing this and seeing this happen, the corporal and the sheriff are running up near you guys. The sound is heard. Sounds like the same direction this doctor just saw the silhouette move.
And that was not the
is-
same direction that...
That is more direct east,
Okay.
a little bit to the north, but into the woods.
Did one of you shoot? What happened?
No.
No, there's a figure over there near the greenhouse.
Now the greenhouse is on fire.
And I want to start making my way towards where that figure was. Not going to the woods, but like where they were leaving, where I saw them walking.
Yeah, you start heading that way.
Yeah, I'll stick with the doc.
Doctor,
Yes.
would you also roll alertness?
Again?
What's your botany?
Oh, my botany. My botany's 50.
50 and 40. With those two combined, as you're moving past the greenhouse, you can see the fungus stuff is seemingly not burning.
Note for us agents at the moment. I will not point that out to the sheriff or deputy at the moment. They might notice, but I'm not going to.
Peter is panicking by the fire. He's like laying in the snow. So with the corporal leading the charge, you all begin heading northeast. As you're going there are no footprints from the silhouetted figure. And as you continue that way, you get maybe about half a mile, and you see, slumped against a tree, missing his jaw, Deputy Bars. Can I get sanity checks from everyone except the doctor?
Yes. 30 under 33.
Ah, you're
Oh.
fine. Miss Belamy?
30 under 58.
Alright, you're both fine.
His jaw's gone. I'm trying to get down, and I don't know how to stop bleeding. I'm missing a whole jaw.
Is he dead?
Is he alive? Yeah.
He's kind of breathing. His jaw is over there a couple feet
Jeez.
with a bullet hole.
Oh, he got shot.
By what?
That's a great question.
I'm going to try to tend to him. I don't know if it's in my capability to keep him from dying, but that is the doctor's priority.
You are a doctor.
Yeah, that's that's the doctor's priority at this moment, is just keep him from dying.
I'm going to try and see if I can spot a shooter. I know it's been a long time since the shot was fired, but I'm...
Roll alertness. Doctor, what medical skill would you like to roll?
I feel like this would be makes most sense for first aid.
Okay,
maybe?
so roll first aid. He is bleeding profusely.
Oh, yeah, like I don't even know if it's in the capability, but I'm going to try. 91 over 60.
In this moment, you don't really know what you can do, as like everyone's pretty panicked, and you're just looking and you're like, that dude's jaw is missing, he's bleeding, we're in the cold, that's not gonna feel good. And you're just kind of at a loss for words of what to do at the moment. He kind of is clutching at you, trying to speak, but like he can't.
I point to the snow and try like write or something, like write it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dr. Steele, roll a luck check.
22.
He begins to write in the snow with his finger. You see H, A, V, E, R, F, and then passes out.
Is Haverfield a name that we know? That popped into my head. I don't know if that's
That's the
relevant.
name that popped in my head too, but
Well, that seems maybe important then.
yeah.
Assuming that's what he is writing.
Did you want my alertness check? That you
Oh,
asked
yes,
for?
I would love your alertness.
It's a 66 under 70.
That's a critical success. I need a sanity check from you.
Oh. Okay. No way. 20 under 38.
Nice.
Wow,
Ooh.
that's great. You lose 4 points of sanity.
Oh!
And that's on a success.
Oh.
Can I project that?
You
please?
can.
I would love to do that.
Roll a d4.
What have you seen?
I don't know. You're here too. I don't know.
I don't see anything.
That's a 4.
Ah, so you take 0 sanity loss.
That's great.
You lose 4 willpower points.
Willpower points. Ooh, that's less great.
What's your willpower now?
It's at 3 now.
Ah, 1 away from having a minus 20 to everything you do.
Oh.
And
Well,
3
then.
away from unconsciousness.
Oh, and I need to pick.
One of your bonds lose 4.
I'm gonna do my wife. I already projected on my AA group once, so I needed to pick something else.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What
what did I see?
What's your intelligence?
My intelligence? That's a really personal question. It's 11.
Would you roll intelligence?
I don't like all this rolling with no explanation.
It's great.
I'm trying to figure out what to describe to you.
Well, there goes my streak. That's 79 over 55.
Oh.
You're looking off, in the direction of the gun. What you see, you can't really focus on. It's almost like fuzzy, like your eyes kind of begin to blur as you look at it, but it seems like some large spherical shape moving. And then you see what looks like a silhouetted figure. You can kind of see him a bit in his bulky padding with a gun kind of running off.
How far?
But you caught like the tail end of this thing. You couldn't comprehend or quite understand what you were looking at. How far? He's probably about a quarter of a mile right now. You can get like really good eyes as you're kind of looking and seeing.
A question about the fuzzy sphere thing that I maybe or maybe didn't see.
Oh yeah.
Would you say it was maybe about the same size as the warm snow sphere indent that I saw just a few minutes ago?
It's definitely something that could have made a similar thing, you
Okay.
think.
I mean, I can't really even see necessarily what that is, so... Shooter, half a mile that way.
The sheriff begins running.
I'm tending to Lucas.
Yeah, no, you're doing
I'm
your
gonna stay with
job.
the body. Yeah.
Listen, when I get back, if I get back, we need to talk, but I'm not going to let him go off by himself. So
I'll stay here.
Great. I'm gonna run after the sheriff with my carbine in my hand.
Okay. Birdie. As you're like looking around, everything's kind of happening. You hear faintly off that same-ish kind of direction, but maybe to your right some, the same sound of that humming kind of engine noise you heard before.
Does it sound distant?
About half a mile.
Okay.
Corporal, could I get an athletics check from you whilst
Sure.
you begin to move out?
What happens if I meet it?
You beat it.
Cool, 50 on 50.
I love it. That's great.
Doctor, do you know how to shoot?
Not the best shot. No more than the average person.
Okay, well that's enough. You stay here. I'm gonna go chase that, whatever that frickin' hum is.
Birdie is saying all that and begins to run off. Peter's like, I don't really shoot. I'm kind of fast.
I stand back up and I turn to him. I'm afraid we have another one to return to the morgue this evening.
He rolls a sanity check. He fails. He throws up.
It's never easy. That's where the others are going at this moment is hopefully track down whoever did this. Fortunately, now it's just the two of us. Can you help me return Lucas to the back of the truck?
Yes. All right. Yes. Let's get him moving.
I don't know what I have. If I can just take his jaw and wrap it in cloth?
Yes, I imagine you could do that.
I would inspect that more later.
This and the satchel that he had of Belamy's is also there. As you are picking it up, it is open, and the samples are not in there.
Lucas grabbed it and then walked away.
Are you kidding me?
Bollocks. Clench my fist a little bit.
Are you all right, Doctor? Agent?
Not all right, Peter.
Are you hurt? Something happened?
No, I'm not hurt. I'm just very frustrated right now.
Yes, me too. This is a very scary situation.
Yes.
Let's get him back to the truck.
Let's return to town.
You two begin carrying the body back to the truck. Birdie is running in the forest alone. The snow is coming down heavily as a light begins to shine in the sky. The corporal and the sheriff are running guns in hand, sprinting through the snow. We see a figure not quite in focus, silhouetted, trying to run, struggling a little bit as he's looking back at you all. And then we look up at the sky and we fade to black.
Thank you for listening to the Records of the Unknown Operation Latency. Records of the Unknown is an Atomic Broadcasting production. Delta Green is copyright of Arc Dreams Publishing. Operation Latency is not published or endorsed by Arc Dreams Publishing and is an original module created and run by Samuel Sarver. Our players are Nolan as Dr. Sylvester Steele, Abby as Bernadette Birdie Belamy, and Harrel as Corporal Alexander Adams. Music in the show is from Monument Studios, as well as various artists. If you enjoy the show, be sure to subscribe or follow the Atomic Broadcasting Network on your favorite listening platform. If you want to stay in touch, you can follow us on our socials listed in the description. Join the community in our Discord server to be notified of future uploads and join in on the conversation of what's to come. Don't forget to like, comment, and tell a friend. And as always, have an atomic time.
Immediately find each other and split again.
I need to talk to you.
Oh, I need to talk to you too.
We need to talk.
All of us need to talk.
Where did you go?
Where did you go?
Where did you come from?
Cotton Eye Joe.